Hello students, in today's class we are going to discuss on the topic Unit 9 Solutions in Chemistry. Surely there will be 2 mark questions, 4 mark questions and 7 mark questions. Take one notebook and note down the hints. Shall we revise the important ones? Okay. First one is define solution. It is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances. Example, you take sugar. It is a solute. Sugar dissolves in water. You are getting one solution. You cannot separate the sugar separately. Sugar completely uniformly distributed in the water. So you are getting one solution. So this kind of homogeneous mixture is called solution. Then second one, based on the type of physical state of solute and solvent. They are asking 1 mark question. Give an example for solid in liquid. This is only physical state, solid, liquid and gas. So they are asking give an example for solid in liquid means sodium chloride dissolved in water. Then another one question, gas and liquid. So gas, carbon dioxide dissolved in water, that is soda water. Then another question, gas and gas they are asking. You have to write mixture of helium and oxygen gas. So surely there will be 1 mark question based on the type of physical state of solute and solvent. The next one, based on type of solvent. One short answer question. What is aqueous and non-aqueous solution? Give an example. We know that most of the substances are dissolved in water. So they are considering water is called as a universal solvent. Then now for this question, what is aqueous solution? Water, a solution in which water acts as a solvent is called a aqueous solution. Example, you take common salt in water, sugar in water, copper sulfate in water. The next one, what is called non-aqueous solution? A solution in which any liquid other than water is called non-aqueous solution. Sulfur dissolved in carbon disulfide. Next one, based on the amount of solute. This is one long answer question, right? Notes on saturated solution. Second one, unsaturated solution. So what is called saturated solution? A solution that contains no more solute that dissolves in a definite amount of water at a given temperature is called saturated solution. This one we have done one practical experiment, no? 25 grams salt you are adding in water, then 11 gram again you are adding in water, you are getting 36 gram. Example, see, 36 gram of sodium chloride is dissolved in 100 gram of water means you are getting saturated solution. That is no more solute, again you can't add. Completely correct to a gram is 36 gram for 100 gram of water. So that is called saturated solution. Next one is unsaturated solution. A solution that contains less solute than that of the saturated solution at a given temperature. Example, see, less solute means you below this 36, that is 10 gram of sodium chloride in 100 gram of water, 10 or 20 or 30, below 36 is called less solute in 100 gram of water at 25 degrees Celsius. Then next one is supersaturated solution. A solution that contains more solute, that is greater than 36 gram of sodium, that is 40 gram of sodium chloride. It is present in water means it is called supersaturated solution. How we are getting the supersaturated means we can change the temperature and pressure means we are getting supersaturated solution. 1 2 mark question, they are asking define solubility. The number of grams of solute that can be dissolved in 100 gram of the solvent to form a saturated solution at a given temperature and pressure. Then this type of question they are asking in some problems. Find out the solubility of a solute. You have to use this formula. You have to apply this formula. Mass of solute divided by mass of solvent into 100. Then one important long answer question. You have to study well. Write notes on various factors affecting the solubility. There are 3 main factors that affect the solubility. First one is nature of the solute and solvent. Second one, temperature. The third one, pressure. This First one, you have to explain nature of the solute and solvent. This plays an important role in the solubility. There is one phrase that scientists often use is like dissolves like. This expression means there is a similarity exists between the solute and solvent. Example, you take common salt dissolves in water. Polar compound dissolve in polar solvent. Non-polar compound dissolve in non-polar solvent. Example for non-polar is fat. It is dissolved in ether. This non-polar compound do not dissolve in polar solvent. Same way, this non-polar solvent, polar compound do not dissolve in non-polar solvent. So this one you have to mention in this first one. Second, effect of temperature. In this case, you remember 2 points. You remember solubility of solid in liquids, then solubility of gases in liquids. First you consider solids in liquids. Solubility of solids in liquids means that increases with increase in temperature. Example, you take sugar will dissolve in warm water than the cold water. In endothermic process, that is heat is observed. In that case, solubility increases with increase in temperature. Then you write another one. In exothermic process, heat is liberated. That time the solubility decreases with increase in temperature. In B subdivision, solubility of gases in liquid. Solubility of gas in liquid decrease with increase in temperature. For this, you know why water is bubbling when you boil the water? Because water contains dissolved oxygen. So this water in the dissolved oxygen decreases. It escapes in the form of bubbles. When water boils, it escapes in the form of bubbles. Another example you can write, aquatic animals live more in cold regions because that cold water it contains dissolved oxygen more amount. So solubility of oxygen in water is more at low temperatures. These two examples you mention it. Then effect of pressure. In this one you have to remember solubility of a gas in liquid. When pressure is increased, the solubility of a gas in a liquid increases. Example, you take carbonated beverages, that is soft drinks. Then household cleaner containing ammonia, aqueous solution of ammonia, then formalin, aqueous solution of formaldehyde. So this effect of pressure, it is given by Henry's law. Henry's law is nothing but the solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas on the solubility. Then two more question. Define hydrated salt. Hydrated salt means the number of water molecules found in the crystalline substance. You take copper sulfate, CuSO4, 5H2O. 5H2O is the number of water molecules. So this water molecules is called a crystalline, water of crystallization. Such salts are called as hydrated salt. Another question, what happens when magnesium sulfate heptahydrate is heated? So when it is heated, it loses the 7 molecules of water. So it becomes anhydrous magnesium sulfate. Then in your book, page number 131, table 9:3. In what way hygroscopic substances differ from deliquescent substances? So that differences you study well. Hygroscopic substance, you know that certain substance when exposed to air absorb the moisture without dissolving, but deliquescent means they absorb water and completely dissolved. This hygroscopic do not change its state, but here deliquescent means it is completely dissolved, no, so it change its state. Then this hygroscopic is amorphous, powder form, no, this one is deliquescent is crystalline form. Okay, study well. Thank you.